on, man? So it looks like the Elite are at it again, guys. And before I even go deep into this podcast, this little dose of the podcast, let me just say this, a quick disclaimer for all of you who might think I'm out to get the Elite, or I'm against them, or I'm Team WWE, whoever really believes in that kind of shit. Let me start by saying I like the Elite. I like All Elite Wrestling. I love the 4 shows they've done. I went to Double or Nothing. I flew away out to Las Vegas just for that weekend alone, and I instantly fell in love with the company since then. I like a bunch of the wrestlers that are in the company, everything they stand for. I am fully invested with this company right now. I'm not like one of the YouTubers or podcasters or Twitter users that are out here shitting on anyone who likes the Elite or likes AEW, because there's some people out there and I just don't stand those people. But I am for AEW. I don't know if I necessarily favor them over other companies, but I am for All Elite Wrestling. That being said, let me get into this discussion real quick. I think that AEW, they have the potential to be top. Like, I don't know about maybe the top, but maybe one of the top companies in the industry. I think it's a little far and beyond to say that they're number 2, because they haven't ran TV yet, and I think some people, even me, have jumped the gun on that, and I think we're going to have to hold out just for a few weeks until we get to TV just to see where they are. But I think they can get to that place in just a while. But however, I think something that's going to hold them back is their mouths. And it's not even really just the entire roster or everyone. It's the executive vice presidents. Cody, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. I know in terms of executive vice presidents, they're considered cool because they interact with their fans and are doing interviews and like shoot style interviews, and you know, they're putting out all this cool content, and yes, it's cool and all. I really do like it. However, their mouths are going to get them in a lot of fucking trouble. And I say this because Kenny Omega just did an interview with Sportskeeda, I believe. So let me play this clip for you guys real quick. It was about 40 seconds about what Kenny Omega said, and then I'll go over why I just didn't like anything that he said. And before I get into that, I am going to criticize this little interview that Kenny Omega did. So if you are totally against anything negative said about the Elite, just click away right now. But without further ado, let's get straight into that clip.
Let's pretend there were no promotions. Let's just pretend there was one big promotion. If these guys were on the same show as me, they'd be in the dark match, they'd be in the opening match, or my main event match. If you're going to call that a war, you're going to call that competition, go ahead. I mean, maybe if it's fun for you to do, that's cool. But we're in different planets. And you're going to see that right away when you see 10,000 plus arenas sold out. You're going to see smiles on fans' faces. And when you're going to see real stars, not developmental talent, but real stars appearing on your television sets every week.
All right, so listening to that, the first thing, I don't know if I actually put in the, I'm pretty sure I put in the video, but if you saw the video and you weren't just listening to it, go watch the video again. If you were just listening, watch the video, watch the way Kenny moves, watch his eyes, listen to the tone in his voice. I just don't like the stigma he carried in this interview. He sounded so cocky to me. I was not a fan of it. He sounded full of himself throughout this entire thing. And you're not just a wrestler, you're an executive vice president. You represent AEW not just as a wrestler, but as a figurehead. You're making decisions, you're calling the shots. You're going to be going out there for interviews with news companies, with news reporters, like maybe actual press, with actual media press and all that kind of stuff. This kind of stuff, I feel like you can't be saying, at least in that way. Like, if he said it in a different manner, maybe, but I just didn't like that. But not just the stigma which said it, but it's also the words that he said, the words that he used. So let me rehash exactly what he said and play it back for you guys. And I want to give my little commentary over top of that.
Let's pretend there were no promotions. Let's just pretend there was one big promotion. If these guys were on the same show as me, they'd be in the dark match, they'd be in the opening match, or my main event match.
So the first thing we start off with him saying is, and he doesn't say NXT or WWE because legal issues, and I'm sure they could smack him with a defamation law. They're going to sue them if they ever mention their name on TV. So He didn't say NXT, but we can all assume that's what we're talking about because no other wrestling companies are beefing with each other. As far as I know, New Japan isn't beefing with WWE. They're not beefing with AEW. Ring of Honor isn't beefing with Impact, or GCW isn't beefing with, I don't know, Uncharted. Like, NXT and AEW seem to be the only major, well-known wrestling company that's actually beefing with each other right now. So we can only assume he's talking about NXT. Now, in this part, he basically said that, you know, if there were just one wrestling company, let's pretend there's no AEW, there's no NXT, there's just one conglomerate wrestling company. If these guys were part of the company with me, the NXT guys, they'd be wrestling the opening matches or the starting matches or whatever while I'm in the main event. And I just don't like that immediately right off the bat, because it's like, first of all, you're downsizing basically the entire NXT roster by saying that, oh, they're going to be wrestling the opening while I'm wrestling the main event. Yeah, that puts you over majorly. And now let's not just discount the fact Kenny Omega, he's a great professional wrestler. I appreciate a lot of his matches. I'm a big fan of his work. But there are a lot of NXT wrestlers that I've seen some great matches for them that are way better than some Kenny Omega matches I've seen. So that stigma that, oh, these guys will be in the opening matches of my shows, I just don't like that right off the bat. So, next part of what he said.
You're going to call that a war? You're going to call that competition? Go ahead. I mean, maybe it's fun for you to do. That's cool.
And that part, I'm just like, bruh, you, Kenny, Cody, the Young Bucks, as much as they want to say, oh, they're not competition, oh, we don't look at them, we look at them as a different universe and this and that, you guys seem to be the main people who are taking shots at them, who are going now and making an effort to make sure that they are the other guys. They're not with us, they're on the other side of the fence. They seem to be one of the main guys doing this. And it all started with Cody at Double or Nothing doing the whole throne breaker thing, taking a hammer to Triple H's imitation throne. That's where it all started. They started a war at that moment in time. And they've been all over Twitter and social media talking about it. I'm not going to rehash every single word they've said before. But they seem to be mainly the ones doing this. But they got to remember something. They're just starting off. NXT has 9 years of experience. I mean, count the game show 9 years. If you count just the brand NXT, then they have about 6 years of experience over AEW. These are all guys who have not had experience running. Yeah, maybe they have experience agenting and booking shows, but running a full company, they don't have experience doing that. They're new to that type of industry. They're new to that type of position in a company. So them kind of flaunting and coming off as if they're the bigger ones right off the bat just kind of has me sent already. I'm just like, all right, let's calm down here, because you haven't reached that milestone just yet. You're not even number 2 yet. We haven't even seen you on TV. NXT just did 1 million viewers for their first live television show. I do not see AEW doing 1 million. I don't even think they're going to do 500,000. But if they do, that's impressive. That's amazing. I'll be happy for them. But you're the new guys. I'm not saying you have to act like you're the new guys, but let's not talk down to the other companies like you're the better ones, because I just don't like that vibe at all. But then he goes on to say,
we're different planets, and you're going to see that right away when you see 10,000 plus arenas sold out. You're going to see smiles on fans' faces.
And that part also had me sent, because yes, right off the bat, All In sold out, okay? Double or Nothing sold out. Then they had their AEW shows, their TV shows. The first show in DC sold out. Then the Boston show sold out. Then the Philadelphia show sold out. And everyone was talking about it, going crazy on the internet, like, oh my god, they're selling out the first 3 shows. NXT, they're coming for you, all that kind of stuff. AEW was touting about it. The internet was touting about it. And I was part of the crowd who was going crazy about it. I'm not going to lie. But now you come to see, I go online to TickPick because I honestly want to go to that show at the Lear Core Center in Philadelphia. And I was one of the people who got online on the day the tickets went on sale. And I was not lucky enough to get a ticket. I was late to work trying to get tickets for that show, and I didn't get tickets. I was very upset that day, thinking that, damn, I missed my attempt to go to this show. Well, a few months out from that day where I was very upset about not getting tickets, I look on TickPick, and not only are tickets for all 3 shows that were sold out still on sale, but the Philadelphia show I want to go to, the cheapest ticket is $6. $6. $50. That is the cheapest you can get an AEW ticket. Now, if you're going on a scalper site, and mind you, a bunch of the tickets sold from these AEW events were spot out by scalpers, and that's the biggest issue AEW is going to face, is the scalpers swarming to buy their tickets. But yes, they sold out and scalpers bought them out. But my thing is, a bunch of people haven't even bought out the scalper tickets, because if they did, the tickets would be much higher priced, because there would be a big selling point. Everyone wants to go to these shows, so on and so forth. You look at this right now, $6, $7, $8, $10, $15, $20. That's incredibly cheap. Incredibly cheap. It's like they're trying to sell those tickets, desperately trying to sell those tickets. And this is not me like trying to shit on AEW. I'm not trying to shit on them, but I'm trying to like show you guys, like, yes, they sold out initially, but on the grand scheme of things, they're not entirely sold out. And look at this map of the Liacouras Center of Boston. They're not sold out. There's still a lot of seats left that they still have to sell out. So when Kenny Omega says you're going to look at 10,000 seat arenas sold out, it's like, bruh, you really haven't sold out your shows yet. And even if you did sell out your shows and there were no scalpers tickets left, like, just the way you said it, like, all right, calm down a little bit. But then he goes on to say,
and when you're going to see real stars, not developmental talent, but real stars appearing on your television sets every week.
And that last part had me sent. I rolled my eyes at that part and I said, wow. So you really just said that there are no stars in WWE NXT whatsoever, and that everybody in, he's insinuating that there are no stars in NXT, and that everybody in AEW is basically the bigger guys. And that's laughable to me, because going into this first show, there's going to be a lot of your audience who don't even know who guys like Joey Janela or Darby Allin or Jungle Boy or Luchasaurus even are. But there is that history with NXT. People have heard of NXT even if they haven't watched it, so they probably know who some of those guys are. Even if you're new to both brands, guess what? You likely know who NXT guys are more than AEW guys are, because that's their first showing. If you didn't buy the pay-per-views or you didn't watch the free ones, guess what? You don't know who these guys are. Kenny in this interview, Cody with the throne breaking, and just all the interviews they probably have done before. Here's how I perceive this. They are doing two things. One of two things, or mainly both things. One, they're appeasing to the fans that they have, the hardcore, right off the bat, AEW elite fans who are going to sync up everything that they're saying and perceive them as the better brand. And they're the guys that are going to be, oh, fuck NXT, fuck the other companies, AEW's where it's at. They're appeasing those people by saying this stuff. And the second thing is they're trying to get press, and they are getting press, because people like me, YouTubers out there, and all these other companies that are coming out there and tweeting out, oh, Kenny Omega's talking trash on NXT. Guess what? You're getting them press, you're getting them attention, you're getting them exactly what they want. Maybe it's not the best press in the world, because basically Kenny Omega looks like an asshole in some of this interview, but you're getting him that limelight. When you're giving him that limelight, you're getting AEW that attention, and that might get them more viewers. So yes, I honestly to God do not believe Kenny Omega believes everything he says. He might believe some of it, but I don't honestly believe that he thinks NXT's blown. Because number one, just by him doing this interview, if I'm an NXT star and I see this interview, if my contract comes up, guess what? I'm re-signing with NXT, because you basically just said I'm an undercard guy. I'm a developmental guy. I don't mean anything to your company. So why would I sign with you? Like, I'm looking at this as a wrestler. Like, I would be turned off by this interview of going to AEW if I work in NXT. Or maybe not even go. Or maybe I'm deciding between going to NXT and AEW. I'd be turned off by this, honestly. I wouldn't even want to go to AEW. Sign with them. So, I don't know who their PR guy is, but they should have a real long talk with the Elite about how they should conduct themselves in these interviews. Because interviews like this are not going to flow over well with people like me who aren't, 100%, all elite wrestling all the time. Because I'm going to be flipping channels. I'm going to be watching AEW and NXT. Seeing stuff like this, if they don't knock it out of the ballpark on day one, if I tune in to their DC show and there's some empty seats, guess what? That looks really, really, really bad on their end. If I tune in on DC and there are empty sections or empty seats and you just told me that you have sold out seats, it looks real bad on your end. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm on there right here. Thank you guys for watching this for listening in to this episode of the Chill Pill Podcast, this dose of the Chill Pill Podcast. Comment down below, what are your thoughts on Kenny Omega and his comments about his wrestlers in NXT? I want to know what you guys think. Comment down below, let me know. I love you guys always, and I'll see you all later. Peace out, guys.